Greetings, friends. This is a new rebate check. Lawmakers have approved for leftover crisis relief funds to be put towards more relief payments. There are still states where many households could qualify for extra relief payments. Top government officials are now saying that federal interest rates may continue to be cut. My dear friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video. Also, this coming Friday and every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch.
Mr. President, last night, the Senate took an important step towards passing a temporary extension of government funding and avoiding an unnecessary government shutdown. We had a strong bipartisan vote last night, with 68 members in favor of moving forward with the CR, and that number would have been higher were it not for weather delays. It's a clear signal that majorities in both parties in the Senate want to pass this funding extension as quickly as we can. Now, if both sides continue working in good faith, we can have the CR passed by tomorrow. If both sides continue working in good faith, we can avoid a shutdown without last-minute drama or needless anxiety for so many Americans. There's every reason in the world to make this an easy, uncomplicated, and drama-free process. I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to do just that, work in good faith. We're willing to cooperate, as always, with the other side to keep this process moving. But Republican members need to be realistic and practical about how much time we have left before the shutdown deadline. What the Senate cannot do right now is mimic the chaos in the House, where a vocal minority of hard-right rabble-rousers want to bully their way into making a shutdown happen. Amazingly, the hard-right thinks preventing a shutdown is somehow, quote, a surrender, as the House Freedom Caucus suggested a few days ago. Mr. President, only in the bizarre world of the hard right is it a surrender to keep the government open. Only in the twisted logic of MAGA extremism is it a disaster to extend funding so that VA offices remain open, food inspectors remain on the job, nutrition funding remains in place. All of these programs would be at risk if the government shuts down on Friday. But to the hard right, a shutdown is precisely the point. They want to create pain and chaos for the American people in order to bully their way into getting what they want. But even now, many Republicans, even in the House, are exhausted by the hard right's bully tactics. The Republican majority can't get anything done over in the House because the hard right keeps sabotaging things on the floor, even their own appropriation bills. The hard right and the House Republicans' leadership the hard right and the House Republican leadership's all too often willingness to go along with them is perhaps the biggest reason why this Republican majority is one of the least impressive, least productive, and least competent in modern history. But for all their bullying and bluster, all their attempts at intimidation, the hard right's efforts are going to end in failure. If the majority of senators and representatives continue working in good faith, Democrat and Republican, we're going to keep the government open.
Qualifying Arizona families have recently received deposits of up to $750 in their bank accounts. But today, officials with the Arizona Department of Revenue announced that those who receive the Arizona Families Tax Rebate will need to report the rebate to the Internal Revenue Service. The state agreement provided a one-time tax credit of $250 for each child younger than 17 years old, and $100 for dependents 17 and older, with no age limit. About 750,000 Arizona families were eligible for this rebate. The official statement reads, "The IRS has determined the Arizona Families Tax Rebate, which was recently sent to eligible taxpayers, is subject to federal income tax and is required to be reported as part of the federal adjusted gross income." The same statement said the tax rebate in question is not subject to the Arizona income tax and should be subtracted from the federal adjusted gross income on the 2023 Arizona individual income tax return. Also, New Mexico residents have still months to file their taxes and receive a 2023 tax rebate from the state legislature. The New Mexico legislature approved rebates for taxpayers in 2023 to alleviate the strain from rising consumer prices on household budgets. Those who filed their 2021 personal income tax return before May 31st, 2024, will receive an income tax rebate of $1,000 for married couples or $500 for single filers and married individuals who file separately. No application for the rebates is required. Those who filed the returns in the summer months should have received a printed rebate check in the mail through the end of June 2023. Those who opted to receive direct deposits should have received them during the week of June 19th. Also, friends, today a top Federal Reserve official said that he is increasingly confident that inflation will continue to fall this year, back to the Fed's 2% target rate. This is after 2 years of accelerating price spikes that have hurt millions of American households. The official, Christopher Waller, who's a member of the Fed's Board of Governors, noted that inflation is slowing, even as growth and hiring remain solid. It is a combination that he called almost as good as it gets. Waller's remarks follow recent comments from other senior Fed officials that suggest the central bank remains on track to begin cutting its benchmark short-term interest rate, likely by mid-year. In December, the policymakers collectively forecasted that it would cut their rate 3 times this year. Wall Street investors and many economists expect the first cut in March. Consumer inflation soared to about 7% in mid-2022, compared with a year earlier. In response, beginning in March of 2022, the Fed hiked its key rate 11 times, to its highest level in 22 years. Year-over-year inflation fell to 2.6% in November. Yet in his remarks on Tuesday, Waller cautioned that the Fed might not cut rates as urgently as many on Wall Street have envisioned. He noted that the economy is continuing to expand, with the unemployment rate at just 3.7%, not far above a half-century low, while inflation cools down. He also added that Fed officials will want to see further evidence that inflation is still on track to 2% before embarking on any rate cuts. Before Waller spoke, Wall Street investors had placed a 72% likelihood of a rate cut in March, and this was based on future prices. That likelihood slipped to about 65% afterward. Waller did note an important shift in the Fed's focus, from a singular emphasis on fighting inflation to a more balanced stance. He said that the central bank now must consider both holding inflation in check and keeping employment high. Such a shift suggests that the Fed could cut rates quickly if the economy and hiring showed signs of faltering in the coming months. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts about our economy? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, to say thank you for being part of this community, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.